Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches. So this video is about, let me move my stuff around here, the Whimsical Stitches book. Bear with me in these next few videos because I'm trying to figure out a new filming situation. Filming in that corner doesn't really work as well as I thought it would. I don't know, filming this way, I'm not able to get the camera high enough. So you see a lot of my double chin. I see it more, so it probably bothers me more. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want to film in this room. I like you guys being able to see my yarn and my amigurumis. Reminds me of the way Ross films, you know, and how he has all that behind him. But anyway, I'll find something that I like in this new space. Okay, so Whimsical tour, Whimsical Stitches book. Craftably Ever After with Cassandra has started a stitch along using this book. Now, I will put a link in the description. I think I'll put a link in the description to her channel and then also to the first video where she talks about this. She, at this point, had so many people respond to her that she has 2 of these books. One that's going all over Europe, one that's going all over America, and they person to person sends it to each other. They choose a pattern, make a video, take some pictures. She'll explain it to you. Sadly, I did not respond to her soon enough, so I did not make the American tour of the Whimsical Stitches. I've just been following along. I'm another one of our yarn friends who's in our Facebook group, Summer's Tips and Stitches. She's been following around. I think her Carib is her name on, or her screen name. So I decided that I too would make the projects. I think I'm following along with the world tour. That's one where she's like, you know, because their countries are all so tiny over there, it's like sending them to their different states. I've been following along with what the European tour is. I haven't even seen the videos for the American one. And it's not because I'm bitter and I didn't get in. It's just, I haven't seen them yet. So this is the book. I've actually made a few projects from this book before. I already had it, which is why I was so excited. I made the cow for my daughter, and I made this coffee cup for myself. Oh, it's up there by Lemon on its side. My nieces were here yesterday, and they were playing with all my amigurumis. So I was very happy because I had this book already, so I could jump right in. Like if you want more details and you want to see what the world tour is doing over by Cassandra, I will link you. I think she's also putting together a playlist. So I'll show you the projects I made, and then I'll tell you some of my thoughts about this book. The first one Cassandra made was the whale, and I made this whale as well. One of the challenges that I am bringing to myself in regards to making these patterns is I am only going to be using scrap yarns. You know, like those little partial balls that I've already, or like the real scrap that like is in here. So you might see that the colors don't match with what the book is doing, but that's because I'm really trying to use up as much scrap as possible. This one was a little bit of a fail in that regard. This is I love this yarn, Oasis Beat. Until about here, I was able to use a scrap ball. I needed just a little bit. So I did go buy a full skein, and it's in my hoard here behind me. But I do love that yarn, and I make hats with it. And it really was just a little bit that I needed out of it. And so it looks like a full skein still on the shelf. And this yarn here for the fins is Red Heart Ombre and kind of the teal or aqua colorway. It goes from a dark all the way to a light. That's why that fin is a little darker than the others. Yeah, so he's actually this way. He has a mouth down there. So I made this guy. The next, I think, on the world tour was a jellyfish. I used the rest of the yarn from the fins to make the jellyfish. And so this is the lighter color. I was running low, so I don't have exactly the same number of tentacles as the pattern required, because I literally used up the last of that yarn. So that was very exciting. I think the next thing I saw, Carib had posted, was a piece of pie. I'm holding it this way because this side's ugly. It wants you to put a face on it, and it had these little pink cheeks. Here, I'll show you what the one in the book looks like. And they must have used like crochet thread. I used size 3 yarn. Actually, it's the remnants of a mandala cake. And you see how little those are? And this just doesn't look that cute. And you can barely see the mouth because it's black, and I chose blueberry because remember, I'm trying to use up my leftover yarn. This blue is, I love this yarn blue. This is a Red Heart Super Saver white. This brown, I don't even remember what it is. It was a little tiny ball. I'm almost out of it. This pattern was okay. It was easy to make, easy to assemble. One of the things that the book asks you to do occasionally is to put a piece of cardboard in there to add stability. So I actually had done that before using the cardboard, and somebody had made a comment about what if it got wet and would it be stable. So I'm going to show you what I ended up putting in this little cake, this piece of pie. I'm not really loving it, but... And I've done this before, but I cut up plastic canvas. The thing that I like about the plastic canvas is that you can also then sew it to the actual amigurumi. So not only did I lay it in there, but you can't really tell because I've gotten so good at hiding the stitches, but I actually sewed it to the bottom and sewed it to the top. It's just the insides that are kind of coming out. If I really push it in there, it looks good. So that is my piece of blueberry pie. When my sister came over yesterday, I told her I made blueberry pie and a cookie. Because, where is it? Here is the cookie. One of the other patterns that they had you make for this craft along was a macaroon. Now, that is another thing that I had to do different because I'm only, I'm losing my patterns over here. Because I'm gonna try to find the macaroon page, because again, I'm only using scrap yarn. They want you to use like a lighter color, like that's kind of a whitish teal. But again, I'm using only scrap yarn, so it's pink with white. It's like a creamy white. I did go rogue and make something of my own because I was feeling very excited and I really enjoyed it. And so I made the turtle. I actually had seen a turtle pattern that Bella Coco had a number of years ago in a crochet society. And I had wanted to make that, but the pattern was confusing to me. Some of the patterns that I found in Bella Coco's amigurumi were confusing, and then on top of it all was in British terms. And so one thing that's really nice about this, it's all in American crochet. So that's the picture of the turtle. My little scrap papers are falling out. When I have to do rounds, I write the number down there and cross them off, and I put them on these cards. And the one thing I did not like about this specific pattern was the attaching of the head. Here's my turtle. He looks kind of cute straight on, but you just stick his head right there. I guess I didn't like that. I don't know where I thought I would put it. I don't know. Maybe crochet it to have an arch. I don't know. I guess that gets difficult. I did give the turtle a tail. And again, because I was using all scrap yarn, this is Big Twist. It's kind of a green Christmassy sparkle one. This, I don't even know what it is anymore. Literally, it was a ball this big. I was shocked that I was able, it's the same color that I used for the cookie that I was able, no, actually it's not. Look at that, it's different colors. I don't know what that is. This brown is a Red Heart Super Saver Cafe. I used, I did my own stitch pattern for the shell of the turtle. I don't like this filming setup, you guys. It's not going to work. It's not going to stay this way because I have nowhere to, I like setting the stuff to me on the side. But here I'm posting on my desk because I wanted you guys to be able to see all that. I don't know. Okay. I did not follow the stitch pattern that she had outlined in this book. I did my own thing. And I think it's fine. So this, nobody made in the Crafted World Tour, Whimsical Stitches World Tour. I just decided to make it. Now, you guys, I'm trying to think about the days of the week because this has really just flown by this week. I want to say that I started this, this is just this week. The last video that I made was when I went to the beach with my sister. And on that day, I'd done about half of the whale. We went to the beach. At that point, I was knitting a hat. And that was, I want to say maybe Tuesday. Was that Tuesday, you guys? Nope, that was Monday. And today is Friday. So Monday, half day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then this is Friday morning. I made 2 kind of sizable amigurumis, a medium and 2 smalls. And I still am working on that hat that I started. I'm at the part where I can do the decreases. So I have my stitch markers to mark where I do the decrease. I am loving this yarn, you guys. Besides being super soft, when you look at the skein, it just looks mostly gray. You can kind of see these flecks. I guess the light is helping. But I really love it. Now, to me, I don't know necessarily this is not really a hat for a boy. A boy might choose it. I thought maybe they would because it's yellow and orange. But it's super cute. I'm really loving this yarn. I don't want to lose a stitch. So those are the main projects. But while I was on Cassandra's website, her YouTube channel, she had mentioned that she was having issues with her Etsy shop and that she had been designing some patterns. What I had gone to look for was her mouse patterns. But when I clicked on the Etsy site link from her description, she didn't have the mouse pattern in her shop. But I bought the pattern she had. The pattern she had was Rainbow Bear. I don't think there's anything. These are her bears. I printed it in black and white and then I laminated it. And that's so that when I carry this pattern around, I won't ruin it. You should see, you guys want to see what my Ross's pattern looks like? I'm going to have to dig around in my computer files, find it, and print it. Look at that. I can barely read what to do on this because it's folded like right across there. This is what's inspired me to laminate my patterns. So this is let's see here. I'm just going to quick look through here. I think it's a 9-page pattern. And one of the things that she does with the basic bear pattern is she then gives you a few things that you can make to accessorize your bear. On here, you can either put a sun or a heart on the bear's snout. You can make a crossbody bag, a sun applique. That's the other thing. Oh, it's raining here. And a cowl. And so these bears are wearing a cowl, and you can either have a sun nose or a heart nose. I'm going to show you my bear. Now, this went really quick. Reaching around here to get the bear. Here is my bear. I did her all in white. She's actually, her body is, and I love this yarn white, because again, I'm only using my scraps. And her arms and head and ears and snout are in Red Heart Super Saver white. Her bow and her scarf are in Red Heart Ombre. Using up some of that. Her hearts, the one on her nose and her crossbody bag is, I love this yarn, pink. This eyebrow is a little lower than the other, but what they say when you're drawing on your own eyebrows, they're sisters, they're sisters, not twins. So she's got one eyebrow and she's like, really? Okay, and then her crossbody bag is in some kind of a purpley Lion brand yarn. I don't know if you can see that. A subscriber friend sent this to me. And I want to say I made myself a headband, and this was a tiny little bit that was left. And so again, she's made out with scraps because all the amigurumis I'm going to be making are out of scraps. And then I made her a scarf, not a cowl. Because, and this is the reason, you guys. And this is my one critique of this pattern. I kind of have two. I don't like sewing the head on separate. My favorite way of doing heads is like Friendly Red Fox, where she has you do a decrease and then an increase, and then you stuff something in here like a firm foam curler into the neck. Now, I will say this head is more sturdy, but I don't do a very good job sewing the head on. This is probably the best one I've ever done, though. That does look pretty amazing. But in order to hide my head sewing job, I made the scarf to kind of hide where it looked like Frankenstein. And so she's got a scarf and she's got a bag. The other thing that I struggled with, because I've never had an amigurumi head pattern that had cheeks, I struggled with getting the cheeks correctly. As you can see, that cheek and that cheek don't match up as well. And her snout, getting them even, I think it's too low. I think it should be high. So, I mean, her head does look a little bit weird. Sometimes I do come in here and like push her face in so you can't tell it. But yeah, that's what's going on here. Cassandra has cheeks added in. So you do an increase for 3 stitches, just a couple rows, and then 10 across, and then an increase. And I've kind of messed that up. And this poor girl looks weird. She also has a tail. I love that. So this is my bear. I don't usually make bears, actually. But I was looking through here to see what I usually make, and the most that I have of are bunnies, and because I have that like aqua bunny up there. And then I have that pink bunny. I usually make bunnies, but I did make this bear. She does not have a name. I was thinking about making her a friend in gray or brown. And then I thought, what if I made my own lemon? You can see her up there with the coffee cup. What if I make my own pattern for her? I won't call her Lemon because Mariah Elizabeth will sue me. But anyway, I can put a link in the description to Cassandra's Etsy shop if you want to purchase her pattern. Oh, I was going to tell you my one thing that I don't like about the Whimsical Stitches book. And actually, I feel like I must have said this before. She doesn't give you the counts to put the eyes in. That's what bothers me. It just simply says, put the eyes in. Occasionally, she will tell you, nope, actually here, she's not even here. It just says, add safety eyes. And I like it to be very specific. I like them to tell you to put the eyes between rows 12 and 13 with 5 stitches apart. Like, that's how specific I like. And this gal does not. She just tells you to add the eyes in. So basically what I end up doing is trying to count visually myself how many stitches, and then I kind of make an estimation about how many rows down. So that's the one tiny thing that I don't like about this. I like to know specifically where to put the eyes. So that is my full week of amigurumi. My next video will be my formula, or the way that I start shawls and what I think about in my mind when I go to make a shawl, that if I'm not following a pattern. And then, yeah, I'm thinking about making my own gray bunny. I finished that hat. That's really what I've been doing this week of crochet. Not 100% sure what I'm going to title this video, because it's not all completely the Whimsical Stitches World Tour. Whimsical Stitches and amigurumi, that's basically what I've been doing. I kind of had lost my Crojo, and I'm not trying to sound like a baby, but I felt like, I mean, I make the hats for Christmas for the 2nd graders, which is great, but because of the hospital stay this year, I have enough hats for 1 year. I really only need to make like 4 or 5, and then I still have extras. And I feel like I have so many shawls and baby blankets, and I don't really have anybody to give them to, and I've given them to people in my life already. Everybody in my friends and family circle already has a blanket or a shawl, and nobody is asking for more. And so I just feel like I don't want to make any more of those to pile up. I already have one full crate, plastic storage container of projects I've made that either I'm not using because I can really only wrap myself in so much crochet, or other people aren't. So then I was like, I don't want to make something to just sit in a bin. And I always feel, I know everybody else seems to think they're so good. When I go to donate, I always have people giving me these rules about what they want. They wanted it knit, they want it with natural fibers, and then I've made it out of acrylic, and they wanted, Christ Child Society got very specific. They wanted baby blankets a certain size, the specific size. And so I was like, I don't know what to make. And so I am very thankful to Cassandra, because she just really made me feel, I binge watched her videos one day, that, you know what, it's okay if I just want to go through a phase making amigurumi. And that is what I am. I am in my amigurumi phase, or my amigurumi era. I was in baby sweater and baby blanket era. I still do a lot of hats. But now I'm just going to be making amigurumi. What I'm going to do with it all, I'm not 100% sure. I do know things like this I can put in my prize bin at school. The little kids want it. But to be fair, amigurumi is not really playable, because once kids start playing with them, the ends start coming out, they break out the eyeballs, they stretch out these little mouths, you know, and it's hard to repair an amigurumi. I can't tell you the number of eyes that have been lost, and it's really hard to get them back in because you can't put the safety eye on the other side. So the toys, the amigurumi, aren't really playable. It's sit on a shelf and look cute. Okay, maybe this is a downer video. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic. But anyway, check out this Whimsical Stitches. I'll put a link in the description to Amazon for you to buy this. So there'll be links to Cassandra's YouTube channel, the video where she talks about her world tour. There'll be a link to her Etsy shop. There'll be a link to buying this book off of Amazon. It is really nice. The pictures are nice, and there's tons of photos and descriptions on how to do certain techniques and stitches. All right, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for liking and sharing. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.